Hello guys. So today we will be solving this algebra question. It was asked by Google. Uh, the question is slightly complex. Uh, just let me explain you the problem statement. So the question is saying you are giving me the table of tennis players and their matches that they could either win or lose. Find the longest streak of wins. A streak is said to be the consecutive won matches of one player. A streak ends once a player loses their next match. Output the ID of the player or the player and length of the streak. So this is the output, desired output, and the table input table is only one. This player ID, match rate, and match rate. So first let me explain you the problem statement. So basically, in the question we are asked that we have to find out the player ID and uh, max streak of the consecutive one matches, right? So basically, first we will find out the max streak among all the players. Okay, so let's say suppose the max streak come out to be five, then we will return the players corresponding to this streak. Okay, so player ID, comma five. Let's say there are two players having the streak length is five, then it will be player ID two five. So this will be our output. So how we will reach to this output is slightly complex in first go. So the input table which is given to us is comparison of player ID, match rate, and match result. Correct. So what we have to find out? We have to find out the match streak of won matches by a player, right? So let's say, suppose I'm considering this here only one player. Okay. Let's say the player ID is 401, 401, 401, 401, 401. Correct. Match rate, let's say D1, D2, D3, D4, D5. And lose, won, lose, won. So as you can see, uh, there are, let me add, okay, let's see. So as you can clearly see here, the max streak should be 2, right? But let's suppose there are here two more records, okay? One second. Uh, D6, D7, then it will be 3, okay? So there are two streaks, and what we have to find out, uh, let's say, so this is the different streak, this is the different streak. So how we will find out that which streak is of the maximum, right? So we have to find out the new streak when it is beginning, at the point of beginning. So we can do it by the case statement. Uh, I mean, it is difficult to visualize in a first go, but when I'll write this case statement, then you will clearly, it will be clearly visible that how the streak is changing. Okay, so let's say, so the streak is starting from here, then it is ending here, then it is starting again from this. Okay, uh, case will be uh, when match result is equal to 1. Okay, then what we will see is we will see if the previous match was also won by that player or not. Okay, so we can simply write. I'm not writing the full syntax here. I'll write that in query. So for your understanding, uh, match result here it will be over partition by that player ID and order by match date. Okay, is also equal to W. Okay, then I am tagging it as 0. And First, let me write the full case statement. When the match result is equal to W, so let's say this case will be covered. Suppose this is the first match, okay? Uh, then there won't be any previous match. So it will tag it as 1 and else as 0. This is a case statement. The whole uh, idea of solving this question lies in this case statement. So if we will apply this case statement on this lose win pattern, lose won. Okay. So first it will check for this case when match result is not equal to W, then it will check here, then it will come to else clause. It will tag it as 0. Okay. Now for this part, uh, it will check uh, case when match result is equal to W, but there isn't any previous match. So it will come to this part and it will tag it as 1. Okay. Now for the third part, it will check case when match result is equal to W, it is satisfying. Lag of match result, it is also equal to W. So the previous match is also won by this player. So here we will tag 0. For lost part, simply we will return 0. For the won, now as you can see, why this logic will work is, so here is the new streak is beginning. Okay. So it will tag it as 1. So basically, whenever the new streak will begin, this will automatically tag it as 1. Okay. So the case when match result is equal to W, there the previous match is not won. So it will come directly to this part and it will tag it as 1. Uh, so for this part, the previous match is won. So it will tag it as 0. The same streak is beginning. So you can clearly see for one streak, what this case statement is doing, it is tagging the first one match as 1, then the corresponding matches, either it is won or lost, it will tag it as 0 until and unless the new streak is being. Okay. So now you guys must be figuring like what we will be doing with this lost matches. Okay. We can filter it in the next iteration itself, because if we will filter it here itself, what will happen is, suppose if I remove these lost matches, so let's say it is not there, then it will consider this one as the part of the streak only, because the order of execution of a SQL query is from and where, right? So it will directly go into where clause. It will filter out the lost, and it will check the one in the continuation, and regardless of the fact there is a match which is lost between those one matches, it will uh, count it as in one streak. I hope you guys are understanding. So now what we can do is, now we by using this case statement we have successfully find out that when the streak is changing. Now we have to find out the streak length. So for that we can do is sum of, let's say this is SP, sum of SP over partition by uh, player ID order by match rate. What this will do is it will find out the cumulative sum. So now I'll show you that how we will find out the length of this streak. Okay, here it will be 0, it will be 1. Now it will be 1, it will be 1. Here there is one more, one will be added to this one. So it will be 0, 2, 2, 2. Okay. Now what we will do is, after reaching to this step, okay, after reaching to this step, now we can filter out the lost uh, matches. So this will be gone, this will be gone. So we can simply count uh, player ID. Let's say this column is streak ID, okay, comma streak ID comma count of star. What this will do is for each player ID, for streak ID, corresponding streak ID, it will count down the number of won matches. So for this, let's say this row is gone, this row is gone. For one streak ID, there will be two matches. For second streak ID, there will be three matches gone. Okay, so this will be the match streak of player ID 401. Okay, this we will find out for every player. Then we can filter out the maximum streak of all the given players and we can return out the player ID and their corresponding max streak. I hope you guys understood this question. It is pretty complex to understand this, how to frame this case logic in first go, but it can be understood once again. So let me write down the code for this question. So it is given as select table name is select star from player matches. First, let me run this players match, players matches. What is the table name? One second. Oh shit! This is the table, right? We can simply write here our case logic to find out the whenever the streak is changing. So this case is case when uh, match result is equal to won, and we have to check for the previous match of that particular play. So we can do it with lag, lag of match result over partition by that particular player. So we'll do player ID order by match rate. Okay, uh, it is also equal to W. So this is the case when our streak is continuous. So we can tag it as 0. Now the case when this new streak is beginning, right? So when the match result is equal to W, then it will be 1 as the new streak is beginning. And for the every other cases wherever the match is lost, we will tag it as 0 again. And that's let's say flag. Okay, flag by which we will decide whether the streak is continuous or streak is changing. When we will run this, you can get here. Right? So this is the pattern which we have discussed earlier, right? We can include this in CP. Okay. Now what we can write here as now our logic of continuous streak. Now what I was explaining you earlier is why we haven't filtered the lost matches in this CT itself, because if we will filter these lost matches, then in our next step, it will look over these lost matches and it will count this one match as a part of this streak only. Okay, so I hope you guys understood that part. So for the streak ID, we will do here as select from the flag over partition by player ID order by match rate as, let's say, you can name it as streak ID. This will give us the same number for the same streak, right? Let me run this, then we'll get to know. So here. right? Now in this table, if we will filter these lost matches where match or result is not equal to wrong L, then it will give us. So here you can clearly see, uh, like there were the matches lost between these two dates. So it is assigning a new streak ID for this particular one match. Similarly, this and wherever there are consecutive matches won, it is assigning the same match ID, same streak ID. Correct. Now the question is pretty simpler. You can simply write here as select player ID, comma streak ID, comma count star as let's say total won from uh, as 10 group by player ID, comma streak ID. Right. Now here we will here we got the total won matches for a particular streak for a particular player ID. Right. Now what we can simply do is we have to find out the match streak and return the player corresponding to which are having that maximum streak. So we simply write here as select star, comma select player ID. One second. Oh sorry. Select star, comma. We can simply write here as max of total won over. It will tag the maximum total wons in a separate column. And name it as mm, max streak. Correct. Again, can write this inside a subquery. Let's say this. Okay. Here. Now we can simply apply a filter where uh, total won is equal to max streak. Oh, one second. It's not. You can simply return the result over here. Right? Select. We have to return the player ID and the max streak. Okay. Select player ID, comma max streak from this particular table where uh, let me say where total won is equal to max streak. Okay. Here we got the two player IDs. Can submit this. This is got submitted. So I hope you guys understood this question. I know it is a pretty complex question. Uh, if you have any queries related to this question or any other question of SQL and Excel which was discussed earlier, you can feel free to comment in the comment section below. Thank you.